Snapshots. Beth. I am Beth. I am 10. I am at camp. Camp is fun. Once Mom and Dad went on a trip to the camp. All of us were at the camp. Dad and I went up on a path, top of a path at the pond. Mom got a snapshot of us. This is the snapshot. Then Mom let us snap some shots. Dad got a snapshot of Mom.
I got a snapshot of a dog with a hot dog.
Nat. This is Nat. Nat is a kid I met at camp. I have lots of snapshots of Nat. This is a snapshot of Nat with a fish. This is a snapshot of Nat on a raft. Nat and I had lots of fun at camp, but then Nat's mom got a job in the UK. Nat left and I felt sad. The trip to the UK. Nat went to the UK and I felt sad, but then Mom set up a trip to the UK.
Mom and I went on a jet. Ships are fun, but jets are the best. I got to sit next to the wing. I had lunch. Then I had a nap. Mom got the snapshot of the nap.
Nat met us at the end of the ramp. I ran up to hug him. Then Nat's mom got us a cab. This is a snapshot of us with the cab man. Nat and I had a lot of fun. Then Mom and I slept in a bed next to Nat's bed. Bud the cat. This is a snapshot of Nat's cat, Bud. Nat got Bud from a vet. Bud had a bad leg. The vet had to fix Bud's leg. Bud had to sit in a box with a cast on one leg. Then Nat said, "Mom, can I have him? Can I? Dot said yes. The fish. This is a snapshot of Nat's fish. The fish swim and splash and munch on fish snacks.
The cat can smell the fish. It can press on the glass. It can grab at the fish, but it can not get them.
The flag shop. Mom and I went in a lot of shops in the UK. One of the shops was a flag shop. The shop had the US flag, the French flag, and the UK flag. That's Mom in the snapshots with the US flag. The UK flag has a big red cross on it. Nat and his mom held one up. I got this snapshot of the two of them with the flag.
Which is the best? This is a snapshot Mom got. All of us had to run up a bunch of steps to get to this spot. Nat and I run up fast. The moms had to huff and puff to get to the top.
This next snapshot is one that I got. It is Nat with a bunch of big rocks.
Nat had Mom and Dot lift him up. Then Nat said, "Beth, get a snapshot of this. I am the rock on top. Get it."
Get it?
Get it? So, which snapshot is the best?
The dot led us to a bus stop. At the bus stop, there was a thrush. Nat held up his hand. The thrush was all set to land on his hand. But then Dot said, "Nat, stop that." Nat let his hand drop.
At the bus stop, Nat said, "Beth, this is the best bus," I said. "Why? Is it fast?" Is it fast?
Is it fast?
Is it fast? No, Nat said. It is not that fast. Then why? It is the best.
Try again.
Then why is it the best? Just then Nat said, "There is." Just then Nat said, "There it is." It was a big red bus with a top deck. On the bus, Nat and I sat up on the bus top deck of the big red bus. The bus went past a big shop. "That is where Mom shops," I said. "Nat, that shop has all the best stuff."
The bus went past a big clock. A bell went ding dong, ding dong. "That is Big Ben," said Nat. "Who is Big Ben?" I said. "Big Ben is not a man," Nat said. "Big Ben is the bell that is in that clock." The bus went on. "That is a posh spot there," Nat said. "Posh," I said. "What is that?" "A posh spot is where stuff costs a lot," said Nat. "Mom had lunch in there once and it cost so much that Dad got mad." The man in the black hat. All of us got off the bus. Nat led
us up to a man in a black hat. Beth, Nat said, "That man will not grin." "Why not?" I said. "His job is to stand there as still as a rock and not grin," Nat said. "I will do the best trick I can," Nat said, "but I will bet that man will not grin." Nat did a trick and fell on his back. Nat's trick got all of us to grin, but then the man in the black hat did not grin. "I bet I can get him to grin," I said. I did a split, but the man did not grin. I sang a song and did a jig, but still the man did not grin.
Mom got lots of snapshots of us and the man in the black hat, but there is not one snapshot where that man grins.
The man in the kilt. Once Nat and I met a man in a kilt. I said, "Why is that man in a dress?" Nat said, "That is not a dress. It is a kilt." "A quilt?" I said. "No," Nat said, "a kilt."
What is a kilt? I said. Mom said the kilt tells us that the man is a Scot. The cloth on the kilt tells us where the man is from. So the kilt tells us his past, I said. Yes, said Mom. It is a bit of his past. Mom got that this snapshot of us with the man in the kilt.
The map, once all of us were on a trip, then when a dog ran up and bit the map. Dot said, "Bad dog, stop that. Drop that map. Drop it." But the dog did not drop the map. The dog ran up the block with the map. Nat ran to get the map, but Dot said, "It is just a map. Let the dog have it." Just then the dog let the map drop. Nat got it and held it up. "Here it is," Nat said, "but it's got a big rip in it." "Well," Dot said, "I am just glad that the dog bit the map and not one of us." In the cab, Dot got us a cab. The cabman said, "Where to?" Dot said, "To King's Pub." "What is a pub?" I said.
A pub is a spot to get lunch, said Nat. If it's the King's Pub, I said, I bet it's posh. Will I get to sit with the King? No, said Dot, with a grin, but this pub has got the best fish and chips. The cabman got us to the pub in a flash. Then all of us went in to have lunch. Lunch at the King's Pub. At the King's Pub, all of us had fish and chips. All of the pubs in the UK sell fish and chips. The fish and chips I had in the King's Pub were the best I had in the UK. Yum, yum.
Nat had a glass of milk with his fish and chips. Then his hand hit the glass. Splash. The milk went on to Dot fish and chips. Then this snapshot tells it all.
Dot said, let's rent a punt. A punt? I said, what's that? Dot led us to a dock. There were 2 punts there, as well as a man with a log stick. Let's rent one, I said.
All of us got in a punt. The man with the stick got in last. The man said, kids, this punt can tip. If it tips, all of us will get wet. The best thing to do is to sit still and not stand up. Nat and I sat still and did not get wet. It was a lot of fun.
The trip back. The trip to the UK was so much fun. I was sad that time it had to end.
Then, when it did end, Nat and I had a hug. So did Mom and Dot.
Then Mom and I got back on the jet. When Mom and I got back to the U.S., Dad meant.
No N, just met.
Meant us.
Dad, I said, I am glad you are here. I wish you were with us in the UK. Mom and I went on a punt and had fish and chips at a pub. Nat and I sat on top of a big red bus and went past Big Ben. It was so the best trip.
I got a map of the UK and hung it up. I stuck red dots on all the spots Mom and I ones too.
Mom got prints of the snapshots from the trip. I sent the best ones to Nat.